Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your fave Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson.
Morning.
Morning. What going on?
Things, life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You liking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like that.
Except that I keep thinking today is Monday.
Yeah. I had that I had that happen to me once or twice.
Hear me? Oh yeah, Social Security 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened to me this morning too.
Yeah. No,
And then
that's not today.
how was everybody's weekend?
It was cool, you know. Just went to a party for our great friend Amali. And then what else did I do? Oh, Cane Juice is having a fun day. A sports day.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I'm team captain. Go green. So, so we just picked the names, and then I stayed home for the rest of the weekend, and mummied. Yeah, it was fun.
I feel you.
It was fun.
What was there to do in space, Kevon?
nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Same as always.
Which is exactly what I like.
Yeah. I feel
I
you
just
on
burned
that.
my tongue, but I had to pretend I didn't.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah, my weekend was slow. Family for the most part. Needed just to relax this week as well. So this weekend. So that's pretty much what went down. Yeah, just relaxed. Family. Not a lot of nothing. Even though there was lots going on.
Right? I don't know. I feel like the rest of the Caribbean was wilding out while we were just.
Really?
You don't think so?
I feel we had a lot going on, maybe not to the extent, but there were people who were out all weekend and now can't go work this morning.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
But yeah, guys, I think, and you know what too? What I have to applaud about is the fact that I don't think we had much or too many like incidents this past weekend.
Yeah,
Yes, that's good.
I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything, and I was just like, that's either really good or really bad.
Yeah,
I guess it's good.
No, it was good.
I heard some rumors last night, but again, just rumors.
Rumors.
So I won't repeat it because it was very dark. I went over the peninsula last night. I didn't see any security vehicles, any fire and rescue vehicles, so that's always a plus.
Always.
I mean, there was a wrecker picking up a vehicle, but it didn't look like it was a serious accident. It didn't look like anybody was hurt. So, yeah.
Well, there's nothing to worry about, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, St Kitts seemed like it was safe over the weekend.
As it should be.
Always.
And forever.
But yeah, the news though.
Oh, I know what I did with my weekend. I remember now.
What? When you just. Okay.
I tagged Jade.
No comment.
What went down?
I sang the Supplicant theme song.
I know that he was going to say, I just.
But that's what he did.
Because I
He
finally
also
watched.
promised to sing it.
I saw a clip of the old Supplicant commercial, and it was just on repeat.
We just one fine.
Gonna get a boost. Supplicant. Gonna get a boost. A B, a C, D, E.
Don't question
C
it.
vitamin.
Just go with it.
Boost you up.
Yeah, just let him get out the
just-
system.
yeah.
Yeah.
Supplicant gets you up on your knees. I'm done.
You better now?
Congratulations.
Supplicant
No,
boost you up.
still not done.
Yeah, now I'm done.
Yeah, you have to finish with the boost up at the end.
That was such a commercial, yeah? I
Bye.
completely forgot
You
about
and it was really inappropriate, you know, if you look
Yep.
at it.
Yep.
You see, when most commercials back then was inappropriate,
Yep.
literally most commercials back then were mucho inappropriate. Very inappropriate.
Well, you know, builds character.
Yeah.
Inappropriateness?
We miss the good old
Apparently.
times. Yeah, missing the good old times.
You know what's funny? Censored TV was actually never censored.
Not at all. A matter of fact, half the things that they used to do then, like...
Really?
Can't do now.
Yeah, we
You
can't
do
do
it on the
now.
air now.
So y'all don't feel like especially network television, like getting more and more like raunchy? I think it's more. I think it's just that
What?
the value is changing.
To you?
Azem,
What?
No time.
do you think Flavor of Love will air today?
Flavor of Love, Real Chance of Love, what else?
I Love New York.
Them they
All
can't...
of you think
Buy
those
crazy. Them
shows
they
will
can't
air
come on
today?
now.
As opposed to
They
what?
wouldn't come on
But
now.
so what the difference with what coming on now?
What coming on now?
Now it's just
Love and
arguing
hip-hop?
fighting.
Love and hip hop don't even have fighting anymore.
But Love and Hip Hop.
They don't fight anymore, as in they can't fight anymore. They used to, but they
Hold on,
stopped.
maybe Kevon saying. What you say, Kevon?
That's what I'm saying. Like Love and Hip Hop is just arguing and fighting. Like
Exactly. Like me.
They
not-
don't, but they don't fight anymore. They used to physically fight back then, and they literally don't fight no more. Like I watched somebody get punched in the face live on Love and Hip Hop. That can't happen now.
I don't know.
That me you don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but I mean.
But I've been seeing the clips.
I don't see no clips of nobody getting punched in the face. Literally the only thing recently that I've watched, and I'm like, okay, well this is new, and I'm shocked that it's actually happening, is the show with Jocelyn, because other than that,
That's Zeus Network.
Yeah,
Zeus
that ain't
Network is
network television.
see, that's what I tell you,
Bang,
like
bang,
network
bang, TV.
television has gotten.
I think it's just a change in values. I don't know if I see it as like, I don't know if I see it as like less or more, because it depends on your value system. If your value system is a certain way, then
Yeah, but remember there used to be real boxing and like real thumping and so on VH1. Like VH1 has calmed completely down.
But we can't talk about like violence. Physical violence hasn't gone anywhere on television.
Yes, it has.
What?
In reality shows, not movies and stuff.
Well,
in reality shows.
But reality shows has a different set of thing. But you could turn on your TV and watch people kill people, normal.
Yeah, well, you know.
So like violence ain't change. Like I think it's just a matter of like there's a difference in values, and I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's more or less inappropriate is different.
Granted, I barely watch network television anymore because, you know.
Yeah, like the thing, like there's things that so you don't think there's things that show you know that could have never showed 10 years ago.
Yeah, bye.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would have never been welcome. It would have been a real issue. Not only okay, let me explain. Let me give her one crazy example. Right? Was it the Grammys that took place recently?
When Cardi B and Megan was scissoring?
Right. So
Yeah, that couldn't happen.
that was CBS.
You know what complaints they got though?
But that was the point. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a matter that it's more tolerable or anything. I think now there's an actual incentive to push the culture, and the people pushing the culture, like just that, you know how much views that I get on that clip on the site. You know what people went and watched that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much interactions they get just after that.
Well,
like
you're right, because
there's an incentive.
Remember when Justin Timberlake hauled out Janet Jackson's boob on live television?
Hard man.
No, but he admitted to it willfully. Everybody said.
Oh man, it wasn't.
Apparently.
No, he actually was
anyway.
willful.
I don't know. I watched it and
You haven't watched the recent backlash with him, like.
No, I haven't seen it. So
Yeah,
so
man, he willful, man.
he said he willful
Apparently-
pull out she breast.
Apparently, this I think it was the stylist. Somebody
The
said
what?
that it was designed to do that. And I don't think Janet knew it was designed to do that.
And also.
But it wasn't
like,
Justin though. It's Justin. This side he pulling it out.
Well, it's Justin pull it away. Who? You thought it was Janet?
No,
pull it
no.
out?
What I'm saying
I think
is no. What I'm saying is
I
if
think he
the
was told, but
And then
Okay.
even the comments that he made after, like, it indicates that, you know, it wasn't really a mistake, man. And-
I just think it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
but
Justin in the hot seat.
that was a big thing.
Huge.
But it didn't have the same. There wasn't the same set of incentives that we have now.
No.
for that kind of thing.
How they cook Janet, which was weird to me because, like, imagine, right? This is how weird culture is. Imagine something happened to me and y'all blaming me. Like, I didn't do it, you know.
I guess at the time nobody gonna know you do it.
Well,
They just know
they see everybody. We all. So it wasn't like a secret. As in, everybody watched TV.
I watched TV. I didn't think. I just thought it was a wardrobe malfunction. I didn't think it was.
Exactly, but the problem is for me that everybody made it seem like she willfully just threw out she breasts. Like they made it seem like she just gap out she shut.
No, but I mean a lot.
Women know that she was blackballed for a lot for this. Like they literally treated her different opposed to Justin when this happened. Like Justin had all kind of movies and all kind of things. Janet went through all kind of things because her boob accidentally came out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a lot of the backlash I saw was for the network.
Not me.
Not
like,
not
yeah.
This is the network I saw.
I was following the story and a lot of backlash went to her. Like Justin was fine. Justin do all kind of things.
But Justin boob didn't come out.
Yeah, but ain't like she threw out her boob. Which
I know, but what I'm saying is, why would Justin get any backlash at all?
Because he did it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, okay.
No,
I'm not saying.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
I get what you're
like
saying.
You're saying, like Justin didn't get backlash, but what would he have gotten backlash for? Like
because he was a part of it.
Yeah, but he wasn't exposed.
Originally, the optics of it seemed like an accident.
It was it seemed like an accident.
He had no responsibility.
Initially, right? So I don't understand why he would
gotten any backlash.
Why he would have gotten backlash in the first place. What would he been accountable for?
Did you see?
What?
The boob.
Okay.
Boob accountability.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I feel like I feel like for me, outside of the, let me put it this way, I think that a lot of the things in the past that we look back on and saw as inappropriate were acceptable in the culture at the time.
That is true.
So we have to look at it in a
in
the context. But that's my issue. My issue is that now we look back at a lot of those things with new eyes, new perspectives, right? But then there's the same culture that is very critical of those things. Now try and push the culture in a different direction. So it's like, let's say like Looney Tunes, right?
Oh, Looney Tunes was. Is Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes as a collective, right? So that'd be like Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd, Donald Duck, like all them.
I watched an episode when there was, bro. I watched an episode when there was reenacting like a master slave thing when Bugs was talking to, where was he? Was Elmer
most likely.
Bro, I said what did
let's not even get into Ren and Stimpy.
But that's my thing.
So Ren and Stimpy?
But so that's my thing.
I think we have the same point that things were wilder back then.
Right. So but what I'm saying is, back then, you're looking at it through that eye, but the at the time
it was normal.
Yeah, the culture was not a place where it was looking at it through certain lenses.
It was really
right.
normal.
Yeah. So now
back then it wasn't an issue.
Right. So now if we come forward, we could look back and say, yo, that was grossly inappropriate. Like, why are we showing these images, right? It's not for any it's not educational. It diminishes the importance and all of this thing.
I could name at least 5 cartoons I used to watch that I know I shouldn't be watching. Cow and Chicken, Cat Dog, Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life. That one was wild too, boy.
Rocco
was mildly.
Rocco
was what we mean.
Okay, let me ask you a question too. Like, I think that
I love that cartoon though.
So then, okay, let's look at no, because the argument does be like Ren and Stimpy wasn't necessarily marketed to kids, even though my argument is It
What
was
marketed for?
it was on a kids network.
That
Right.
time, like I could understand. You see how Cartoon Network had.
No,
Adult Swim?
when Ren and Stimpy used to come on, it used to come on past 9 o'clock initially.
I never watched Ren and Stimpy past 9 o'clock.
No, that's what I'm saying. You see the reruns, but when it first came out,
Oh.
it used to come on in the evenings. So then now you have people who would say things similar to, well, look at like Family Guy and Futurama and some of these other shows. So
Adult Swim on a whole.
right.
Love it.
So I think that it's just a different set of values. Like just like what we're saying now, we're gonna look back and be like, not only that, for instance, and if you want to look at the shows that are marketed to kids, look at a show like, let's say, Peppa Pig, where the little pig is just always disrespectful, ain't on a manners.
She
ain't
really
gonna-
always disrespectful. She was this.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying now?
She a little rude. She a smidge rude.
So this is the thing now. So it would have been less likely. It would have been less likely to see children acting out direct impersonations of the situations shown on Looney Tunes, whether it is extreme violence, whether it is extreme bigotry, because they just wouldn't be put in those situations. But you could see children mimicking the exact behavior of somebody like the little pig name.
Pepper? You mean
Pepper.
It's Pepper?
You mean the little brother?
The little disgusting pig, right? It's Pepper?
Pepper.
That's
she
Pepper?
Pepper.
Okay.
Pepper.
Well,
Pepper, little Pepper 6'3", okay?
Pepper is
Pepper is literally
Pepper
6'3",
is the
so
main
you-
one, and then George is her little brother.
yeah.
Pepper
So
made me laugh once. Like I'm usually annoyed by
When she
Peppa
hung up
Pig,
the
but she
phone on
made me
Susie
laugh
Sheep?
one time when she couldn't
When she hung up
whistle.
the phone on Susie Sheep.
Oh my God, I cracked up, boy. She said.
Hilarious.
But I see what you mean. Most of the shows marketed for kids now are really kid friendly. Pepper.
really, because I don't
No,
watch it.
I don't think so.
I don't watch.
Which
I
one?
don't-
Watch,
But that's what
I've
I'm
watched
saying.
A few.
Like even
I watched a few modern day kids cartoons, and I'm just like,
this isn't the behavior I want to see my kids mimicking.
Oh well, maybe you're watching the wrong ones because they.
I mean, I think they're more realistic-ish in terms of like they tackle a lot of issues, like social issues, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, wow.
Jade must be watching Paw Patrol and so die realistic. Who gonna have a little child with a bunch of dogs
That's Paw Patrol.
saving a town every day?
Like
Where's
the others
his
gumball
parents?
and then
I literally watch Paw Patrol and where is Ryder's parents? Like how they just have Ryder doing all of this? Ryder is literally in child slavery. This is child slavery. Ryder has to save this town from these adults every day. That's
Well,
child slavery.
Yeah.
And them dogs, animal cruelty.
but what I'm saying is, you might be onto something, because in 10 years you might be looking back and wondering these same things. So you have to look at
this child is running up and down the-
So you're gonna be this situation where, you know, the media can always kind of reflect the values of the culture at the time.
I think it's only one cartoon that I could manfully say is still wild, and that's SpongeBob.
SpongeBob and
no,
Level.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob toned all the way down.
For you?
Modern day SpongeBob is not what old SpongeBob used to be.
Boy, SpongeBob used to be wilding out.
Yeah. So it's kind of
They
crazy,
had a
man. Like,
whole episode with SpongeBob saying the F bad word. The entire episode.
Bleep.
Disguised as a dolphin squeal.
That was hilarious.
oh boy.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah, but television. The truth is, let me ask you a question now. And I think the answer to this changes based on the generation.
Mm-hmm.
So people who were watching Looney Tunes and, let's say, cartoons like Doug, taken holistically,
Oh, Doug was so nice.
right? So
I
like
miss
Doug and Rocket Power and
Oh my God.
Rugrats.
I have a story about Rocket Power.
You have a story about all these shows.
Because like I literally, me and 3 of my guy friends in primary school, we turned into Rocket Power. Like I literally was the girl,
Okay.
and we
okay.
used to play this game, and we had the whole school playing it.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Rocket Power so bad.
So this is the question now. The question is, if you had a decision that you could expose your child to the holistic shows that you watched as a kid, as opposed to the ones that are there now? Which set would you feel more comfortable exposing your child to?
Okay, what are the categories like?
Not just as a whole. Just, in other words, if you could transplant your children to Saturday morning cartoons, and like at that point, or the cartoons that they're exposed to now, which ones you'll feel more comfortable leaving your child to watch?
That's tricky because the ones that Jaden watches is all about like colors and he too, so it's not the same experience.
But we're talking about that. We're talking about like holistically. So in other words, his childhood versus your childhood, which shows you.
Childhood ain't that good yet. He's still in it.
No, but
you only here for 2 years. He had no childhood.
Me talking about Jaden.
Okay.
We're just talking about
the cartoons of now versus the cartoons of then.
And what you would feel more comfortable.
I think the cartoons of now, because I remember I used to watch literally what's that cartoon on Adult Swim called? The really wild one.
Robot Chicken.
I can't imagine what Robot Chicken.
There's a reason why it was on Adult Swim.
I can't legit watch that boy. You're crazy.
But that's my thing. So you don't think Jaden gonna be watching when Jaden is 25? He'll be looking back and saying, "But I was watching such and such." He'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah, but main thing he's wild. I don't feel like his like the cartoons of Noah as wild as then. So I can't really say like that unless they hit us with something like, okay, name a cartoon that I could compare with. Let's say Cow and Chicken, or Rocco's Modern Life, or Ren and Stimpy. Name a cartoon from now that you could compare to them.
You were saying Cow and Chicken, Rocco's Modern Life, and
Cat Dog. Like you can't. What cartoon could you compare to then? What cartoon now can you compare to then?
What's the name of that cartoon? The one on Netflix.
Oh.
Big Head.
Oh, you mean nobody?
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth. Okay, so that's the point.
For kids.
But that's the point I'm making.
But I mean,
just like you weren't supposed to be watching Cow and Chicken, they're supposed to be watching Big Mouth.
Marketed for kids.
It was on a segment called Adult Swim, Jade.
No, Cow and Chicken was not. Cow and Chicken was on Cartoon Network in the day. I watched Cow and Chicken in the day.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times, them things come in.
Reruns are not.
Reruns, yeah.
They were in the day.
So you think Jade ain't gonna be watching Big Mouth on Cartoon Network in the day? You ain't get licensed, it ain't be the same thing.
And also what they used to do
what you
is
mean,
they used to
I don't want to believe they're about to put child porn on
aged up cartoons later down in the night. So, when younger children are awake, there's younger children stuff. When teens are awake, there's more teen appropriate things, and the later it gets, the more inappropriate the content.
Bear in mind also that we operate a little differently here. So we consume American media, right?
Mm-hmm.
We consume American media, but American standards different to ours.
Oh boy.
1, 2, because just culture differences. But 2, involved in that culture thing is generally children have across the board certain bedtimes that don't exist here in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. So they could manfully say, okay, it's 8 o'clock, we could put on a different type of cartoon, like a Cow and Chicken or whatever, right? Because most of the children, they're in the bed by 6:30, 7 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, if your parents, kind of subscribe to getting you to sleep at a certain time, generally that is 9:30, 10 o'clock. No matter how young you are. So you're still being exposed to the so-called adult content.
I read a meme recently that said, as a child, right, if you were up past your bedtime and your parents didn't notice, you sat so still. Because if you move, they're going to notice you. And if they notice you, they're going to run you in your bed. Even if you wanted to pee, anything, you didn't move. You would just sit still, barely breathing, hoping that they forgot you were there. And that's true.
It's true. But I do think a lot of parents don't really subscribe to the bedtime thing. It's kind of like, yeah.
One of our listeners said in regards to my comment about radar, neither child slavery nor animal cruelty, but demonstration of wisdom, smartness, and kindness greater than those of the grown-ups.
Matter of perspective.
Yeah, because I'm like, them grown-ups saying it. If this child and these dogs is the smartest people in this community.
So
the community.
So they're teaching children to not respect the elders and believe that they somehow know more than the adults. Matter of perspective.
I don't think I've never seen him disrespect.
No, but what you're saying, if you have a belief that you know better than the grown-ups,
I don't know
then
if
why
it's a
would
belief.
not you, not the character, but the children watching the show.
Oh, because of the fact. Oh.
But
if they're watching it, they're gonna also realize that he was the one that called them.
Mm.
I mean, they were the one that called him. It's not like he just hop up and started saving things. Like, they would literally call him.
Yeah, but he's demonstrating constantly that he has a greater level of knowledge and wisdom than the adults.
Janet, we already talk about Peppa Pig. She said that you're talking about the Cartoon Network and got a whole out of other pig.
Yeah, the pig ridiculous. And one of the problems I have with that is that I literally see children mimicking a lot of the behaviors.
Yeah.
Which, like I'm saying, it would have been a little more difficult for us to mimic the behaviors that we would have seen in some of our cartoons, because they were so outrageous and over the top. They were so outrageous and just over the top.
That is true. I was about to make a comment on a cartoon, but I forget we're live and children might be listening. But I was about to.
Okay, so
I was about to reference which one it was. Ren and Stimpy.
She can still do it.
Oh, Ren and Stimpy.
When they were eating butt.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it was.
That was cow and
chicken.
Cow and
Yeah,
chicken.
it was
Cow and chicken. Yeah, cow and
the
chicken.
things we used to watch as kids, boy, Lord.
Yeah, but like
that
I said, I
could
think
never fly.
Those
I
characters.
doubt that could fly right now.
it could fly. It just wouldn't fly on
Cartoon Network. I mean, that would be
Yeah.
more on like Netflix or Hulu or stuff like that.
Yeah, or even like a late night Nickelodeon, same kind of thing like
Yeah.
Ren and
I
Stimpy
never
initially
seen
was.
it be a late night Nickelodeon used to have them things like.
That's what Ren and Stimpy
Nick
was.
at Night. Remember Nick at Night?
No, Nick at Night was more like old shows, but
Yeah.
the Ren and Stimpy
Yeah,
also
but
used to come on just before Nick at Night and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, like you know, like I said, they have started. The
Mhm.
later it got, the more mature the content got.
But I was saying that's because there's a culture, like the bedtime culture.
But you know what else I also realized? That it's only as an adult you realize the
In a
things.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, because when you're watching as a child, you just was like, what? That's a weird meal to eat.
You're just watching for the jokes.
But as
and
an
the
adult
little
now, you're
funny
like,
story.
yeah, like you ain't realizing that they're really showing you these things as a child. You just think it's a funny joke.
But that's part of the allure, right? I think part of the allure is and the creativity. How do you create something that appeals to both 6-year-old and their parent at the same time?
Let me tell you something. I was never gonna.
Without being well, I mean talking about like, let's say, like a cow and chicken. But
SpongeBob. I think that was SpongeBob's premise.
I think SpongeBob was like that. I think The Simpsons to a certain extent. I think it depends on age too. Because for instance, a parent might feel more comfortable sitting down and watching SpongeBob with their 2-year-old as opposed to the 8-year-old.
Yeah, I do. Jaden loves SpongeBob. I wouldn't let Jaden watch SpongeBob at 8.
But you can't stop him.
That's true. But maybe by the time he 8, he has something else to watch.
SpongeBob on steroids.
Hopefully not. No,
Yeah,
because
but
I feel like when you're around 8, it's like them cartoons that y'all used to watch on Saturday mornings, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And what else boys used to like to watch.
I was different like in terms of my media consumption when I was younger. So
Never mind.
no, but I know. For instance, I think one of the big thing for us was like Dragon Ball Z was a big thing.
Those are what I'm trying to remember. Dragon Ball Z and those things. That's what y'all was watching when y'all 8 and 10.
You know, one of the other things that is like kind of worrying for me in terms of all this media consumption and thing, the fact that a lot of parents aren't aware of the dangers. So, for instance, would you allow Jaden at, let's say, 6, 7 to have a TikTok.
You're crazy. Pedophiles on TikTok.
Right.
Pedophiles who on TikTok. You could.
Okay, but that's the thing. A lot of parents don't know because they see TikTok as like this place that there's just a lot of dances and things. They just it just don't know. It's just ignorance. They just literally don't know.
No, I know enough about TikTok to know that my child will never have one.
Yeah, right. So
no time soon.
So like that's you, but a lot of parents just don't know because they might not have been. They might not be into it, whatever.
They just think it's an app where kids go and dance and stuff like that. But realistically, like if I'm a pedophile, right? And there's an app where I know there's lots and lots of children on there dancing and doing things. Where would I go? To that app. Because, like, they're there. The things that I like are there.
Jade just making a case for we need to check all teachers.
Yeah, but anyway. I guess. Whoa, that's a whole different story, dear boy.
And Sunday school. You just said with a place where there's a lot of children, pedophiles going there. Which I agree.
I didn't say, remember, that wasn't Jade, that was Azem.
No, I just saying all these are places.
Them, I didn't say anything about Sunday school. That was Azem.
I just
So
saying.
when your mother messaged you?
No, but this is the problem here. Why we can't be open and honest about these things. We need to.
I for sure can
like
attest
how much more cases we need to see.
No, the teachers one for sure. I could attest to. Sunday school, I can't attest to that because I've never heard.
All of them. What we need to do.
You've never heard?
We need to start paying attention to
Oh!
adults in supervisory roles.
You want to rephrase that, Jade?
I think you just tell me something off here. I don't know how I forget the people I'm church up with.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? This is what I tell people, like, there might not be anything inherently wrong with the... What happened, Jade? Jade running out the studio.
I went to check to make sure about the deal because your comment took me out, boy.
But no, what I'm saying is there might not be anything wrong, particularly with a certain institution or even the role. So there's nothing inherently wrong with teaching or teachers, right? However, people with certain dispositions would be drawn to certain occupations. Like that's just the way it is. Like if you're a creative person, there's nothing to say that. Okay, but I don't remember. But
I know who you mean. Remember, it was the little devil man. The little
Him.
red devil man.
But
No. Him?
the little devil man never wear
was
pants.
Powerpuff Girls.
That was Papa. Him?
The little devil man, the devil and thing never wear pants and count chicken either. But anyway,
Let me see. I'm googling him.
I digress. So, but what I'm saying is that there's going to be certain occupations that people with certain dispositions are naturally drawn to, and that is why it's so important to recognize what those and there's a direct correlation between the powers that are given and the type of people. So, for instance, if I am somebody who, let's do it another way. If there's a job where you give persons power over other people, protection by the state.
Well, you're talking about the police later.
Right, protection by the state, you don't think it would be unwise to ignore the fact that a job like that might draw people with certain personality traits to it. If you're able to, if you're able to legally carry a gun, if you know that
You're in charge of kids all day.
So yeah, the same thing. Okay, for instance, and because for me, I respect the job of police officers because I'm not gonna go do that. It doesn't appeal to me.
Ever.
Right? At the same time, do I respect the job of, let's say, religious officials, whether it's pastors, priests? Yes, because it doesn't appeal to me in that sense. Because, and speaking directly to certain dogmas, if you tell me, okay, to have this job, you have to take a vow of chastity, you can't get married, right there, done out, eh? Right there, I done out. Like, ain't for me. Like, that job ain't for me.
Good for you, but not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, then you have to look at...
Me don't understand. Like, what? Okay. Man, digressing, right? But, like, man, I don't understand the correlation.
The correlation between what?
Why they not being married and chastity and all of this for you to be a religious, like, leader? Because the Bible ain't say you're supposed to get married and be fruitful and multiply, so why?
But there were always sex, not sex, S-E-X, but S-E-C-T, of people who would take vows of chastity. So that's not necessarily yeah. But I do believe that that did play a role in the, for instance, for the priest being able to function properly in certain scenarios. So, for instance, if you don't have a
family, wife,
in situations and villages and cities where the priest function almost as they literally call him father, right? So how do you function in that capacity fully if you have your own children? So where does the line go between your parishioners and your actual children? And the role you're expected to play. You're expected to be the one who knows everybody's secrets because they come into you and confessing. You're expected to not judge, to not go and tell whether it is law enforcement and all of these other social structures about what you heard and all these things. Like you're functioning literally like a parent, right? So it puts you in a position where you're more capable of doing that in a sense, right? But what I'm saying is, for me, when you look at a job that it's going to appeal to a certain type of person, right? Not saying that those are the only people that are going to these roles, obviously not, because we know that a lot of times the bad apples are a minority. But it will attract persons with certain types of personalities, certain types of phobias, certain types of mental disorders. Like, I mean, I'm rebellious by nature, so you ain't gonna see me joining the army.
That's true.
You understand? So it just but we have to bear in mind that these things happen, so we have to be aware to filter out these types of traits where people could then take advantage of the positions.
Yeah. We will. Our friends from Solid Waste are here, so we are going to talk a bit of trash, and then we'll more trash than what we've been talking all morning, and then we'll come back with more discussion right here on Island Tea. Stay tuned.
Be right back.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineered sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
If you say you love your little dear country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere. Lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country. Volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival. So those who engage in it should be treated like criminals. So don't be afraid of all.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves. And it is time to jump into talking trash with our friends from the SWMC. Or is it C? Yeah, it's MC. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And yes, welcome to another episode of Talking Trash and Island Tea. But you know what? I don't understand. Every Tuesday morning, I'm here with you guys. And you never, ever offer me a cup of tea. What is that?
Boy.
Hold on, no. Whoa.
Boy. We ain't doing this today. We ain't doing this today.
Anyways.
Kevon didn't act like she didn't say that.
Okay, that's just that's a icebreaker. Okay, Talking Chats is a
Because if I said, let me go boil the tea right now, you're going to tell me, no, it's okay.
You see, you don't know if you don't ask.
All right.
Okay. All right. Yes, Talking Trash, is a weekly presentation of information and education, and it's aired every Tuesday morning right here, WINN FM 98.9 from 8:30 to 9 a.m. right here on Island Tea. Yes, I am your host, Anita Lake, Collection Manager of Solid Waste Management Corporation. And as you know, as usual, at Solid Waste, we deal with the generation, the collection, separation, storage, transportation, treatment, and disposal of solid waste here in St. Kitts. Okay, by way of announcement, the Ministry of Tourism, along with other stakeholders, including solid waste management, is in the process of implementing the Rail to Track project in Trinity to Challengers community. The project is designed to be a walking and biking path for both visitors and locals. It also will be equipped with businesses that will, revitalize the neighborhoods and improve resident quality of life. So, you'll hear more about it in the upcoming weeks. I think we'll have those guys come on board, so you'll hear from them. Okay, our highlights in today's issue will speak about vacant and abandoned properties. Before I get into it though, let me tell you, as part of I want to just clarify this because we've been getting a number of complaints. And so I just want to bring this to the public to let them know. Yes, as part of our mandate to keep St. Kitts clean, Solid Waste provides street cleaning services in certain established commercial corridor routes in Bastille and some rural areas. The sweepers sweep up the debris and the litter in the street. They are not assigned to the drains. Again, they are not assigned to drains. The drain cleaners are responsible for cleaning the drains, while our sweeper at times may remove certain litter or debris from the drain as they sweep. It is not their responsibility to clean the drains. It is the drain cleaners who are responsible for making sure that the drains are kept free of debris and litter. I thought of clarifying this because we get in a number of persons stating that, solid waste is not cleaning the drains. We are not assigned to drain, right? And accusing our sweepers is just not right. So I just thought of bringing this out and debunk that fact. Okay, solid waste. At Solid Waste we promote civic pride. We empower and we encourage you or your neighbors to volunteer sometime to clean up your area, clean up and beautify your community. If for some reason you notice in front of your property there's some debris and whatnot and look untidy, I think you should jump in and volunteer and clean it to make sure that your surroundings are kept clean. And that is something we want to encourage. We want to encourage you to take some pride in keeping your area clean. All right. Solid Waste also wish to remind all residents that the garbage collectors are not, again, garbage collectors are not permitted to enter resident yard or buildings. For example, whether it is your garages, your shed, or wherever you store your garbage, to remove and return bins to your yard. All bins must be placed on the curb and the scheduled collection day, and all obstructions must be cleared for collection. Failure to comply may cause your garbage to be left behind. We don't want to leave your garbage behind, so please comply. Bring out your garbage. The guys would not enter your property. However, an assisted collection will only be available in accordance with Solid Waste Management assisted collection policy for households where the applicant is, generally incapacitated or disabled, Lord of mercy, either temporarily or permanently. There is no other if there is no other able-bodied person living in the same property, and a family member or neighbor is available to help move the bin to the curb or the front of the property, the applicant may be asked to provide proof of incapacity from a doctor where they are not able to take the garbage out to the bin. But we will only assist persons who are not able, who are incapacitated for some reason.
Right.
The collectors would not be going into your yard.
Okay.
Please make note of that. We want to make sure that you adhere to those rules because, like I said, we don't want to leave your garbage behind, but we're not going to also come into your yard to remove your garbage. Okay, let's get right down to our highlight for today, and that is vacant and abandoned properties. You will agree with me that there's a number of derelict houses, abandoned properties. Okay, all right. Oh, abandoned properties, these structures are among the most visible outward signs of our communities. Properties that have turned from productive use to disuse are found both in Bastia and in the rural areas. If you drive on the island, you see endless of abandoned property, endless abandoned structures.
Yeah.
And so we know that Solid Waste Management Act, speaks to dilapidated buildings. Yeah. Okay.
We have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live and Talking Trash.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The fine lady explained the difference in duties between the solid waste employees and others regarding the cleaning of our streets, and says that solid waste is responsible for cleaning the street and another department is responsible for cleaning the drain. I find this puzzling. It reminds me of an anecdote from the old Soviet Union, where a supervisor was driving along one day and observed some workers and said, after a while, could not resist his concern anymore and pulled up and said to them, tell me something. You are digging a hole. The next guy is placing the small sapling next to it into the hole. Sorry, you're digging the hole, and the next guy is coming and simply filling in the hole. But there's a sapling next to it. Why aren't you putting the sapling in the hole? And they responded, well, the guy whose job it is to put the tree in the hole didn't come to work today. Are you telling me that someone is responsible for cleaning the street, and where the street ends at the edge and becomes, instead of asphalt, it becomes concrete and is now a drain, the broom should not go in there? And vice versa? I'm cleaning the drain, but if I see a paper cup on the street, I won't clean that because that is not my job. That seems rather curious, if I may put it mildly. I hope we could get a logical explanation for this clear demarcation of duties. And while I'm at it, your website still gives me a collection schedule dated August 1st, 2019. May you have a productive, hard-working month.
Okay, Carla, thank you. Like I said, I'm just clarifying the fact that our sweepers sweep the streets and the drain cleaner clean the drain. However, in my previous remark, I did say that the sweeper, there are times they would take debris out of the drain while they are sweeping. But it's not their responsibility to go to sweep the drains. The drains are assigned to another entity. And so while we may assist with taking out debris out of the drain or litter, it is not our responsibility to do so. That is what I am saying. I am not saying if the sweeper is on the road and they see some debris in the drain while they're sweeping, they will leave it. They will leave it. I'm saying is that there are times that the sweeper may not be sweeping that area and the drains are untidy, the drains are dirty. It is not the sweeper's responsibility to go and clean the drains.
I got you.
All right. My time gonna cut a little short today because I was late. I don't know if I'm gonna get an extra 5 minutes, but I am not going to intrude an Island Tea program. So I'll just let you know that next week we're gonna come back with our highlight of abundant properties, and we're gonna dig right into it because it is very interesting. And I would like to hear from you, the public, of what you think that of the move that solid waste will be making with regard to abundant structures.
Yeah,
so,
I'm very curious as to see what the what the course of action is.
Right, and I'm going to read the act, which give us the powers to do what we have to do.
Ooh.
Okay.
To look forward
So next week, stay tuned. We'll come right back with that highlight. Sorry, I have to cut the program short. Okay.
We had the tea for you, but then it got cold.
Yeah, but guys,
All right.
that was Talking Trash right here on Island Tea, WINN FM, WINNMedia SKN. We're going to be right back with more Island Tea. Stay tuned.
If you say you love your little dear country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country, volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineered sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwen. And let's jump right into some tea. Oh, let me do it because Joseph watching. Ready, Joseph? I know, because he can abuse me if me and do it properly. So, tea time. Okay.
Nice.
So, let's talk St Kitts and Nevis and COVID.
Yay!
2 COVID conversations, 3, but one by one. So let's talk about St Kitts and Nevis. We have confirmed 1 additional case of coronavirus. A statement issued on April 30th says that the national landed in the Federation on April 28th from the Federation of landed in the Federation on April 28th from the United States of America. Don't know what I just read. The patient has been in quarantine at one of the COVID-19 certified sites since arrival. The person was duly notified and is now in isolation. Patient is stable and now being monitored. The additional case brings the total number of cases, confirmed cases, to 45, 31 cases for St. Kitts, 14 for Nevis. Before this new patient, we were at 44 cases. They have since recovered with 0 deaths. There is 1 active case, being the one that just... You're right, Emmanuel Howell Griffin. You're right. Maybe I might do outer space.
Complete government name.
Does he handle?
Oh, that's true. See? This reminds me of the... This reminds me of the video that we watched on the weekend. I don't know how many people watched this video, but
he in space for you.
You find you.
What happened, Jade?
Oh, I like it more. I like it. This reminds me of the video that we watched with the WAS students and the whole debacle of being released and then being told that she might have COVID after being released, and making it seem like it's her fault and all of that. Yikes.
That was sad.
Bruh, I felt so bad for her, because imagine you didn't do anything. They released you from the hotel that I always say, if anything was to go wrong, it would have been the hotel. I always say, if we have any community spreads or anything, it would be from the hotel. And this is not the second time we heard something about somebody being released from the hotel and something going wrong.
Watch out, Jade can make me gym membership get cancelled now.
Make all the body name.
No, but I remember when we had that situation. I think that this was the same scenario. She just she just got to a point where she uploaded everything in a kind
She
of a
was
compilation.
mad. Somebody else wouldn't have documented it, but she documented everything from conversations to leaving and all of that. So like, how you gonna blame me when we could clearly see you cut off my band? I didn't cut off my band.
Right, tense. Okay.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Do better. Do better.
Oh wait, hold on. Is it Emmanuel's birthday? Today is his birthday.
Wow. Big up yourself.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
wow.
birthday, Emmanuel, who is
Send
one of
cake.
our big viewers.
Send it.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, he
I
could
would
FedEx
sing,
it.
but I don't think we wanted live to get disconnected.
He could FedEx. Yeah, FedEx the cake, wow.
To Kevon. Send. Oh, hey, yeah.
No.
I didn't realize. Never
Happy
mind.
birthday to you, and I hope you
Send
have
a
an
virtual cake.
awesome day filled with. You see, if I did you tell me this before I did the tea time, he much better.
It was good though. It was good.
Yeah. But St Kitts and Nevis new COVID update. We will try to get more on that other story when we have it. But until then,
Wonder if we could get a student to come and talk about her experience without us getting sued.
she's talking about her experience. We infringing on her. We will seek counsel.
We will seek counsel.
But until
yes.
then.
Is that a call? Is that her calling?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's always such a pleasure to tune into your guys' show in the morning. You have an awesome show.
Oh, I
And
appreciate
here
you.
having my morning tea with you. And I just want to use this opportunity to say happy birthday to my Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I know he's listening because I've heard you mention his name there. So, Mr. Wonderful, God blessed me when he gave you to me 29 years ago. What an awesome child I have. And I just want to give thanks for what God has given him and pray that he'll have many, many, many more wonderful years. And my other Sunday on the radio, I'm going to beat you up. You didn't know it was your brother's birthday?
Yeah, I totally missed that. I totally missed it.
Anyway, I'll continue listening.
All right,
Emmanuel,
thank you.
have a wonderful day. Mommy loves you. To the moon and back. Thank you.
Well,
Oh, that was so sweet.
She's such a wonderful lady, though.
I know she sounds that way.
Yeah.
Like I could
She
tell
is.
that she bakes and she does all these nice things and like she cooks and make sure you eat and
Yeah.
I'm coming to your house. We'll be there.
very, very nice. But okay, tears dry. All right, so let's do another COVID update. So our frequent listener, probably every day, I think at this point, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson took the time out to explain why the nation has chosen the 9-day quarantine. I know over the last week, St Kitts and Nevis has announced that fully vaccinated persons entering the country can enter, and their quarantine will be reduced to 9 days as opposed to the 14 days as of May 1st. He took the time out to give an explanation as to why, and love it. As in, thank you very much for giving an explanation. So I'll read it out for everyone. Why? So simply put, these measures kept us safe and are still needed. The ideal quarantine period is still 14 days, and we must recognize. Oh, yeah, I just want to skip a few sentences. So he said, why 9-day quarantine?
Yeah,
One year
summarize it.
into this pandemic. No, she tell me read it.
I know you can't read it, no. Read it. Read what I say again.
I'll be free. Let me see what it is.
Is there supposed to be a comma there?
It says no, read the whole thing.
Oh, I thought you were saying no, don't summarize, read the whole thing.
It's all them words.
No, but if you
I
said,
catch where you're coming from.
no.
I catch where you're
I
coming
was
from.
giving
Right.
you the Kittitian twang, but you okay? Sorry.
Okay, so some are asking why not the 3 that we see in the 7, the 9, the 10, or even the 14s. What's the point of the 9? So science has shown that the average incubation period for the virus is 4 to 6 days. Testing on day 5 or 6 for a 7-day quarantine period has the potential to miss infections. A study in the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly report evaluating a shortened quarantine period showed that among persons who tested negative on day 7 of quarantine after exposure to an infected person, 19% experienced symptoms or received positive test results in the following week. The new protocol reduces the quarantine period from 14 days to 9 for the fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated persons can still be infected though. It might show up as mildly or asymptomatic, but they still can transmit the virus. So long story short, 9 days is a great time to see if you have it, if you end up catching it somehow.
Yeah. So it minimizes the risk, but still gives some
leeway just in case.
Well, yeah, it acknowledges that
9 days a safety blanket.
Yeah, but it acknowledges that you have been vaccinated, and so Okay.
The people them know what they're doing. Y'all in the doctor.
Because we also have to keep in mind that the 9 days, only 9 days. It could be less eventually. However, it does not make sense releasing an infected person into a community that does not have a proper threshold for immunity. So there's more than one side to it. It's not just about the one person who chose to be vaccinated. It's about the others that didn't and are not vaccinated. So, yeah.
I have a question, but I think I need to ask it to a doctor.
Write it down. We'll have it answered.
No, I mean, no. Okay, it might just be me and my definition of words wrong. But why is it like? Okay, from my understanding, the vaccine provides protection. It lowers your risk of contracting the disease, and if you do contract the disease, then you will not suffer the severity of the symptoms that you may have had otherwise, right? So, but the definition of if immunity isn't being able to resist the organism.
Oh, good question.
So why is it called herd immunity?
I don't want to answer that because I'm not a doctor, so I can't answer that. But
why is it called herd resistance?
I like that. Because even like the flu, you
come to the front.
I had an interesting conversation over the weekend actually. Somebody saying, using about the terminology, the flu shot is a vaccine. It doesn't prevent you from getting the flu. It just builds up your immunity against it.
See, but that's the thing. Like, so immunity doesn't mean you can't get it. See, for me, immunity
just means resistance.
At least,
resistance, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so it's a resistance. So in my mind, like a lot of times when you hear somebody's immune to something, that means they can't. Maybe we get this from the movies too. Maybe we get this from the movies. So it could be, you know what? Google what immunity means.
Speaking of COVID and things. I know this ain't have nothing to do with immunity, but I wanted to talk about the story because Gaston again.
Oh, Uncle
yes,
Gaston.
Uncle. Don't play with them. We Uncle say, by will or by force, you choose. You know he's the only person to actually say what the rest of the... I feel like the rest of the ministers actually want to tell people.
Yeah, but the rest of the ministers...
No better?
Gaston probably done work out that he ain't re-elected, so he ain't care. He got to be. So who knows? But Kevon, exactly what did Uncle Gaston say?
So Uncle Gaston, you know what? I just think the funniest thing about all of this is whenever Gaston chooses to say something, they post him in his outfit.
It is Hitler-esque outfit, like every single time, you know.
For those who
Supreme ruler.
don't know what this outfit looks like, it is like a red beret, a red, what do you call it, like military-esque jacket, and he's just standing at the podium. So
like you're supposed to say Heil?
Picture it.
You're supposed to say Heil Gaston?
And you already know what Gaston's mustache looks like. So, but, so for the first time since the start of Antigua and Barbuda's vaccination program this year, Prime Minister Gaston Brown has warned residents of the mandatory vaccination. He said this could be implemented if residents do not respond to the call to vaccinate voluntarily. His words were, I mean, we have been trying to avoid introducing any mandatory requirements to force vaccinations, but I want to signal here that if we have to do it, we will do so. He also said, so it's going to be an inescapable fact that people have no choice but to get vaccinated. They either do so voluntarily to protect lives and livelihoods or be forced to do so. And at the end of the day, you know, I am going to make myself and my cabinet colleagues any decision that is in the well-being of the country. That is not a threat. That is just encouraging people to voluntarily get vaccinated. To date, over 30,000 Antiguans have been vaccinated, with the majority being inoculated during the first phase in March. So he also said, sorry if I should be a little agitated here, but I am seeing a situation here in which some people, perhaps innocently, or perhaps deliberately, are taking actions that could destroy livelihoods. So Gaston basically say, vaccinate or gonna make y'all do it. You have the choice now, or you're gonna be forced later. But Antigua's target population is still 70%, which is 10,000 per persons. Not 10,000, 100,000. 100,000. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it again, and that's what I kept telling people, you know, where we gonna draw the line?
Oh, he don't draw his though.
Where we gonna draw the line?
He drew his big.
But the consequences gonna be if you don't. He says mandatory, so that means you face legal action.
I don't know.
Like you.
One thing I respect, it's a dangerous thing, but one thing I have to respect about Uncle Gaston is the way he don't mince words. Like other people gonna go around the bush and say, you know, you have to vaccinate to work in this industry, or you have to vaccinate to do this and that. You have to vaccinate, period, in the man country, and he done.
Yeah, it can be interesting. I think what's happening is that, you know, there's so much.
What happened?
But there's so much of these different narratives being put out. I think what's going on is that we need to put out our own narratives. So I'm starting a new COVID and vaccine segment on the show. Jade. What I'm going to do is going to daily, every time we talk about the vaccine, I'm going to put out one of the many positives as it relates to being vaccinated. Okay. And thing, all backed by science, all backed. Yeah. So today's fun fact. It has been stated that within 103% of the persons who have taken the vaccine, that it does open up your third eye. So bear in mind, guys, one of the positives for taking the vaccine is that it does bring enlightenment. It's proven 103% of all vaccine patients have seen an opening of their third eye. What happened? No, this is what we got to do. We got to put the information. We got to put the information. That's what going on with. That's what happening here. The anti-vaxxers ain't mind putting out the information, so we got to counteract with ours. Don't bother talk about the effects on physical fitness and and sexual proclivity. But tomorrow we talk about that. Right? So what
You've
happened?
left me and Kevon speechless. Like,
Yeah, so we got to the next topic.
We don't even have to say.
We got to the next topic.
So the others was throw me
I
off.
literally thought
often.
the man was being serious, you
I
know?
just don't know what to do.
So y'all don't feel
And it's just
y'all don't
don't
feel
know
this
what
is
to
what
do.
need to happen. We just need to put our own facts too.
We own our own.
But people put out their own facts.
Also, that's one of the facts that you just made up?
No, this is proven by pseudoscience. I just did research myself.
Kevon, move on, please. Just
It's like the people that are saying like all these people dying from the vaccine here in St Kitts. Yeah. We need to counteract. We need to counteract that type of information with our own facts.
Kevon.
Kevon, anyone he third eye open. I see that's what's going on. Nah man, stay asleep. Don't be woke.
Oh dear.
So let's talk about this. I think I want to talk about this. Jade is on the agenda, but it's important. So China, they launched rocket into space.
Oh yeah, you would want to know about that.
Yeah, you for sure.
Yeah, so this is a big deal.
Did you see
so
with your own eyes?
China launched a rocket into space. However, when rockets are being launched, well, anything is being launched into space, it is assisted with the help of what's called a launcher, which is a giant rocket strapped on to whatever. What ended up happening was the launcher also went into space, which is not supposed to happen.
Right.
So everybody's space right
So
now.
what usually happens is a lot of these space stations are in remote areas, usually over water or empty land. So when things are launched and the launcher is detached and falls back down to Earth, it falls in nearby ocean or
Right.
on empty land, and it's dealt with from there.
Mm-hmm.
However, the launcher
Didn't
kept
fall.
going
Yeah.
and
the
didn't
launcher in
fall
space?
and went off into space.
Mhm.
The issue is launchers don't have enough gas to keep it going for a very long time. So the launcher basically stopped in a place where it is low enough, not far enough to stay in space, but low enough to fall back to Earth.
Right.
The issue is it is just hovering and they are anticipating it falling back to Earth. The question is when?
When and where?
Nobody knows. Where is it going to
It's like
fall?
we outside
We
on a
also
rocket.
don't know.
A rocket launch. What is the launcher?
Yeah,
So a launcher
the
gonna
launcher.
drop on my house?
So
Pretty much.
just
Is
so for some
Pretty
extra
much.
context, so the launcher is just a giant rocket, big
Wait,
metal
what?
cylinder, and what happens
What?
is, like I said, it falls back to Earth. So the big issue with this
What
is
goes
that
up,
the
Jade?
launcher is in space
Exactly.
and they don't know when it's going to fall back down
Hello?
to Earth.
China, go get
Why?
your launcher, please.
So,
Go
here's
get your launcher.
here's the multiple sides of it. The reason why they don't know when it's going to fall back because it was never supposed to go up. So there's no
Right.
estimation.
There's no
for that.
calculations or anything for that.
Yeah,
There's no
like-
calculations for that. On top of that, the issue why they don't know it's going to fall is because the Earth is constantly spinning.
Exactly.
Dude,
And
stop playing.
where it's going to fall depends on when it falls.
Hello.
Right.
So-
Exactly.
You're literally telling me, Kevon, I can be outside. The launcher could fall to WINN FM at any moment.
Yes. So here's the thing.
China.
The launcher is about this. The launcher is as tall as about a 10-story building.
Yeah.
It also weighs 22.5 metric tons.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a joke, you know. This ain't even a joke. Y'all trying to
No,
tell
it's
us
actually very serious.
this launcher
So,
could literally kill us.
Here's the actual.
Well, what?
excerpt.
Where you gonna
so
go?
It's saying.
Azem?
So Space News is saying.
The vaccine has
This-
been proven to
No. So it's saying that this launcher is now in a stage where it's also in orbit and is likely to make an uncontrolled re-entry over the next few days or weeks as growing interaction with the atmosphere drags it back to Earth.
But China can't
If
go
so,
get their
it will be
launcher,
one
you
of the
try and
largest instances of uncontrolled re-entry of a spacecraft and could potentially land on an inhabited area.
Mhm.
So they're
What?
saying it's going to fall, north,
Again,
a bit
I-
north
mm.
or south of the equator. So that is a very wide range because that's basically everybody.
I'm like,
That's where all the resources are.
how that going to help me? How is that going to help me
So-
feel safer?
Girl, just don't worry about that. You ain't got a
Wait.
vaccine.
If you say vaccine one more time, yeah?
mean, understand.
As the vaccine don't give me superhuman
So here's the
going to
meetings.
respond. I am not going to respond.
So-
Actually,
This is not a shut up. Shut up.
Before y'all stress me out. So
Come on,
unpredictable
I'm
entry
fed up.
is happening. And, again, where it's expected to land is impossible to predict.
yeah,
Decay
but
of orbit will increase as atmospheric, and then there's so many factors to it.
There's
While
so
it
many
falls
factors.
back down to Earth,
not only
it can be destroyed, it can split up, it can rip, there's many things to consider.
the basic
yeah.
thing is they just don't know. Like they just don't know.
Like, look there now.
But this is one of them things, like humans, we just worry.
Listen, I don't behave. Yeah, just do things.
Okay, this is the thing. We always be worrying about like asteroids and all these things coming and hitting us from
Things
space.
are supposed to be up there.
There's a certain group of people that believe that the demise of the human race gonna be as a direct result of our own doing. Ain't gonna be no.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody should believe this.
And these are the things that ain't gonna be no natural disaster.
Listen, the things that y'all do as humans, why would that be shocking?
But we do it for we literally streaming over the internet right now, which is made possible in part by like some of these satellites. So like it's what you want to do. You want to just continue
I prefer that
sending smoke signals, or you want to use your cell phone.
These kind of mistakes.
So
I don't think they did on purpose. That's why it's a
that's why I
mistake.
we
said
have 3 minutes. We have
so
3 minutes.
it can
And
happen.
before we get take a break, so my father, who is basically like the head of National Geographic,
Right.
he has answered the question about so we've all seen social media posting of a video of the bubbling at the crater in St Kitts. He has sent me evidence about the situation. He said this is normal. Some days the activity is higher than some. From the lip of the crater, sometimes you can look down and see it steaming significantly, and some days there's no steam at all. He also said there is an activity near to Brimstone Hill, and you would note the scent of sulfur when passing the hill.
Yep.
Some days it's high, some days there's no scent. That is because there's a vent on the coast.
Yep.
He also said up the road past the Cock and Hen Tree, a water well was drilled there about 30 years ago, and it was abandoned and capped because the water was very, very hot and smelled of sulfur. About 2 or 3 years ago, while doing geothermal investigations, they revisited it and found that it has not changed significantly. Very hot water and sulfur fumes was still emanating when it was uncapped. He also said, though, that it is normal activity which has been happening for years. It is a sign that the volcano is not dead, but dormant.
Right.
He recalls going into Montserrat volcano a few years ago, which is like late 80s, and standing next to similar fumaroles. So a dormant volcano can and do come alive at some point. So that's something not to forget. But the activity that you're seeing is normal. Didn't just happen today, didn't just happen yesterday. It has been happening. It's a thing. So.
Yeah.
This morning when I saw that story, I was like, huh? Just because of this St. Vincent's and the lot of activity I've been seeing, but y'all calmed me down, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think sometimes, sometimes we
panic.
Not only panic, but sometimes we put out some information sometimes that based on the current climate does really get people.
It's a lot of
But
hey,
it's
targeted media.
Okay? We saw that something bubbling. We see something else bubbling in another country. It's fine for us.
Yeah, but
no, it's an opportunity
to learn.
Yeah, opportunity
to learn. It's happening. It shows the volcano is still active and dormant, and it happens. Same in Dominica. Dominica has 9 volcanoes, and many of them still bubble and fume. Yeah. They're all still dormant.
But I think that one of the things that came out of the research a few years ago was that it's good that there's these vents because it's then an escape for some of the pressure. You don't want to have a build up of the pressure. So it's normal, and so we don't have to start migrating. I saw some people like trying to hype up the whole video and again bygone states now, it's like okay, but but the thing is too, this is like because of the events in St. Vincent, we are now seeing a lot of people are paying more attention,
and they're seeing something that was similar, and there's alarm, but it's been happening. It's not something to be alarmed about. But like Azem said, and like my dad just said, they basically allow nature to escape. It's good. It's a good sign. It means pressure is escaping. There's no buildup. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an opportunity for us to learn, man. Like instead of sometimes getting worked up, just use it as an opportunity to learn and find out exactly what's going on situation. So yeah, no worries, guys. No need to migrate. But Kevon, we have a very special guest in the building.
Yes. So it's time to take a very, very short break, and we will come back with more WINN Media, SK, and Island Tea. We'll be right back.
You need a drink, have a fever. You want some fun, get a Viva. Taste the flavor, have a Viva. Oh yeah, Viva is the one. Say goodbye to boring. Let me hear you sing. Got to have my Viva, water but so much better.
Viva sparkling flavored water. Water, but better.
Hey, Dad, want a race?
Well, let's see who's trying to keep up with who today.
Oh, because you need a head start?
I'm already way ahead of you, son.
Keep up with what matters. Joint Care supplements your active lifestyle by supporting your bones, cartilage, muscles with essential nutrients. Joint Care helps to reduce inflammation with omega-3 and replenishes glucosamine, a natural compound vital to healthy cartilage and joints. Choose the Joint Care formula that is right for you. Supplex, Complete, and Max are available at your local pharmacy. Joint Care, a part of the 7 C's family of vitamins and supplements.
Fruta, taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice up every day. Whoa, Fruta, drink the real Fruta, your favorite Fruta, the natural taste is Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice up every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves. Ooh, I almost choke. Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon, and Azem featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson. And it's now time to jump into E-Local with our lovely friend, our big friend, Waveney Henry. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevon.
Morning, Waveney. How are you doing?
Azem. Morning, Jade.
So let's just put this out there now. Let me come out of space. Hold on.
Please, because you were scaring me.
So I'm now in the wilderness. So I know you ain't gonna come on here and play shy.
Oh.
Impossible.
That will never happen. Okay?
Impossible.
Okay, just establishing that.
Can you turn the volume up a little bit on the headphones? Okay. Thank you.
I was asking if I'm allowed to call you auntie on here.
You may.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Auntie, how are you? You come in here in your lavender.
Loving it.
Right?
Thank you.
You ever saw that video? I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
was
know
getting
lavender.
cussed
Send
and they
it to
said,
her.
enjoy lavender.
Send it to me. I haven't seen it.
I don't see these things.
So we love to start this segment out with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do.
Okay, so my name is Waveney Henry, and currently I am the Assistant Director of Human Resources for the Park Hyatt St. Kitts. In addition to that, I am growing my business that is called the People's Brand. It is a coaching business, and it helps female managers that are new to leadership to leverage their communication, build their relationships so that they emerge as influential leaders at work. It's a mouthful.
Female
yes.
empowerment and
Love
development.
that.
Yes.
I love it.
So what are some like brands that people probably haven't realized and as familiar with that you've pushed into the light of where they're supposed to be? Like I think I'm familiar with the alcohol one. What's it called? Creme? There's this alcohol brand that I saw you working with. It's like a cream.
You mean crystals?
Yes.
You saw me. Are you sure it was me? I know I worked with Crystal. She worked with us at the Park Hyatt. And we're really good friends. So
you didn't help her with that one? I thought I saw you helping her with that one.
No, maybe you saw me posting stuff for her. Yeah, we're really good friends. So, and I do that a lot. Like
yeah, you do. You post a lot of things.
Yeah.
You must admit.
But Waveney, what you're doing, I think, is so incredible. But tell us a bit about exactly what sparked this sparked you on this journey of the people's brand and everything that the brand is trying to achieve.
Okay, so I love HR. I love HR, and I've recognized over the course of my experience that there was a need in our federation. I didn't always start off focusing on coaching, but there was a need. I recognized there was a need in the federation, and so I've worked for 2 major brands on the island. I've worked for the Marriott. I've worked now for Park Hyatt, and it was me joining Park Hyatt when we were opening. I recognized that there was a need for persons because the interview skills were a bit off. Right. Persons did not have the right resumes, or when I interviewed them, you could see the potential, but they were not crafting what they were saying correctly. They were shy.
So the potential was there, but in order to display it and present it, the translation was a bit...
It was a bit off. And so I've always wanted to start a business. And so my entry into business was teaching people how to craft their resumes, how to interview, that sort of stuff. I knew that the People's Brand would grow eventually, but that was my entry into business. And it was born out of the need for helping others. Because I like to see people win, I like to see people succeed. I mean, there's nothing more than you going for an interview and you said the wrong thing, or you're not well put together.
Just not comfortable.
Exactly. And some of these individuals, they just didn't have the support. And so I started with those interview classes. And so over time, like any business, you want to grow, you want to scale, you want to really serve people. And so it has now evolved to coaching, where I offer support and guidance to persons who are like young managers, are new to management. I keep saying young, I don't know why. Who are new, new to leadership, new to management.
Okay. So what you're saying is initially, in your position as, someone who would have to sit in on some of these interviews,
or leading these
interviews.
Yeah.
You recognize that there were people who were having trouble presenting themselves in the best way possible.
That's correct.
And that might have been a hindrance to them, getting a job or moving forward in whatever field.
Because you can have
like
the
that.
skill, but you have to go through the process, and the process is interviewing. And interviews, like I remember when I had to do interviews, and sometimes I would be super nervous, like the information is there and then they ask you a question and you're going blank.
Yes.
Which really does hinder you from getting a position that you probably qualified for.
Yeah. Sometimes we psych out ourselves too, because I think sometimes the stakes are so high for some people. Like let's say you just come out of college, you're looking for a job, and you recognize that I might not be in a situation where I could depend on a mommy or a daddy. So the stakes are high, and sometimes that pressure as well makes
really
make it difficult in those situations.
That is true, but as well as, here in St. Kitts, we have a very formal way of interviewing, so that adds to the pressure. What I usually tell people is an interview is a conversation, and that takes the edge off. It's a professional conversation.
Right.
All right, because you can't get the most out of someone if they are nervous. So the idea is to make them comfortable.
Right.
Get them comfortable, get them talking, and so you can really assess the candidate. And this goes for all levels, And
I think that's something that people don't really pay attention to, that you don't just interview for jobs as a newcomer or in a starting position. But as you move up the corporate ladder, like in order to do that, you have to go through these processes as well.
Right.
And so you recognize that some people, even though they might already be in a certain field or working, that they also had some skills that they could develop.
Right.
All right. So, like, what are some of the skills that you found? People who are new to management, new to leadership, could use some help with?
So I think that one of the traits, and I've come to understand this over the last few years, one of the traits that I see missing in leaders is empathy.
Here, with the applause.
Right?
With the applause.
It is empathy, and empathy is different from sympathy.
Right.
Sympathy means, I feel so sorry for you. Empathy is really putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And if you're to be an effective leader, you have to learn how to do that. Right. It doesn't mean that you're going to, the person is going to get what they want. Right? But it helps because it guides your conversation. Right? It guides your conversation when you have to speak to someone about their performance. If you utilize empathy, if you lead with empathy, the conversation is going to be very different than if you are leading, well, you're wrong. I'm right, and this is the way you do it, right? It's different.
It goes from a confrontational experience to one perhaps of fact finding and encouragement and
curiosity. Right? Because you want to find out why.
Right.
People don't just get up and go to work and decide to do a bad job. True. I don't believe that.
And you're right, because sometimes things are happening at home and employers might not know, but you have an employee that usually operates one way, and one day you realize they're not doing their job to their best of ability, they're not paying attention, they're not like fully aware of the environment today.
Right.
And that can be because they could have a debt at home, you know, they had an argument before they came to work, and just empathizing with them could help them feel a lot better about being in the work environment, and that might help them to actually get back to how they were, because you spend most of your day at work anyway. So if you feel like this is a comfortable environment for you, why wouldn't you want to come there and do your best?
Exactly. Another skill that is perhaps missing, and I know I struggled with it a little bit, is what to delegate as a new leader, what to delegate. Because you're coming from a place where you own your results, right? You're given a task, you get it done, you don't have to depend on Jade, right?
Right.
Unless, you know, it's a project or something like that. But for the most part, you own your results. But when you are now the leader, your results come through the people.
Right.
And so a lot of the times you don't know what to delegate. You're still in the mode of, let me hold on to this. I may know that Jade is not very good at a task. So I'm like, okay, it's easier to do it myself. How many times have you said that, right? Let me just do it myself.
Our reluctance to trust.
Exactly.
Or ask them to.
Exactly. And then you have those leaders who are fearful that by showing someone something, the person is going to take the job.
Oh boy.
Right?
Right?
So, and that comes from a place of fear. And so I would say empathy, I would say knowing what to delegate, you know, and there are a host of other things, but those two things are more popped up in my mind right now.
Yeah. Initially, you spoke about the fact that as of now, there seems to be mainly a focus on women in the workplace from your company. What unique issues did you see, you know, needed to be addressed as it relates specifically to women in the workplace?
Well, you know, there's studies out there and there's data out there that tells you that men progress much more quicker than women. They're paid more than women. Unfortunately, in St. Kitts, I don't know that we have that data, right, available here. Another thing that women also encounter is that, you know, our confidence. You know, we sometimes feel like we sometimes downplay our skills or experiences as opposed to men who are more, you know, outgoing or given more opportunities, right? And so those are some of the things. You may find that women have to fight as, you know, really hard, right? You may find that women have to prove themselves. I know that has certainly happened to me where I have to prove my experience. I felt that way by being questioned, right? And you know, it's happened in the workplace. So those are some of the things that women experience, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So I have a question. So, you know, your Instagram, your People's Brand has an Instagram, and I think it is an amazing place for people to learn a lot of things.
Thank you.
Just by scrolling, information is consumable, it's digestible. Like, you know, everything is just so simple and easy to read.
Thank you.
And one of my favorite things that you posted last year when all of the COVID stuff happened was your breakdown of what, you know, furlough and layoff and reduction enforcement.
Okay.
I love that because a lot of people were seeing those words and they had no clue what it meant. And I was sending it to them like, this is what it means. What it means. And, you know, I love that you have that resource available. You do, you know, short little videos and you talk about certain things. And then even last year we saw you had a workshop called Intention 2020. Tell me about that. What was it about? You know, how did it go? And is there a plan to do it again? I know COVID sort of stopped the gathering, but is there a plan to do it again?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for recognizing my Instagram. I've worked really hard on that.
We can see that.
Yeah, I've worked really hard on that. Learning Instagram is no easy feat. Intention 2020. So I got that idea. I'm very, I plan things a lot. And one day one evening I was lying on my bed and I looked at the board where I write my goals that I want to achieve. And I'm like, wouldn't it be great if I did a workshop around that?
Right.
Right?
Like a vision board.
Yeah. Somewhat. So what? I've kind of evolved from vision boards a little, but yes. And so I was like, wouldn't it be great? And I ran the idea by a friend of mine, and he was like, that's a fantastic idea. I think that you should go for it. And so I started planning and doing it. So what it was open to 20 participants, and it was about setting the stage for your year. And what I usually do, me personally, because what I taught is what I do and what I've seen work, I set intentions around 6 areas in my life, right? And I call them intentions because when you intend to do a thing, to me, it sounds better than a goal.
Okay.
Goals, to me, personally, sounds,
lofty and
lofty.
Out in the ether.
Yes, that's just me.
Yeah.
But when you intend, like you set out to do something, it has more energy and it has more weight behind that. So that is why I call it Intention 2020. And so I did the workshop and I shared with the ladies who were there how to craft intentions around these areas. And it was around mental, health, money. I can't remember the others, but there were 6 of them.
Right.
There were 6 of them that I taught them how to set intentions around. They had goodie bags. I got them a whiteboard so that they can write their intentions. I got some magazines, and they were able to do a little bit of vision boarding. And yeah, it was really, really good. I had it at Carambola. And Kevon, you're so right. This year, I wanted to have a virtual seminar, but I was caught up doing another project. So next year, for sure, there will be another Intention 2020.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that the participants would have seen real value being added to their lives based on what they would have learned.
Yeah, I got really great feedback, really, really great feedback, and I was really proud of it. So.
Yeah, I remember watching a lot of some of the. I followed some of the persons that attended, and I remember seeing them post some of the stuff they learned, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, well, I want to go.
Well,
but it's not for me. But I just saw from those tiny clips, I saw how much value was in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm happy you brought that up because I got you 3 some gifts. I gave.
I know Waveney loves it.
Long time.
I gave a part of the goodie bags that the participants got. They got mugs and they got journals, and so I brought you guys
I did need a journal.
a People Brand journal. I know it's pink, but just think about
pink.
It's tapping into your creative side.
My particular brand of masculinity is fine with pink.
Okay, and
Pink
it
is a
says
color. It don't matter to me.
it says you are what you think, you become what you think. All right, and it's positive.
I did need a new journal. I'm so happy.
All right, so I got 3 of them.
I've been called toxic and told that I should
Thank you
start
very
journaling,
much.
so.
Yeah.
There you go. Kevon, we're going to FedEx you out to space.
Thank you very much. I love that. But you piqued my interest because you told me that your intention, the intention workshop for this year got sort of postponed because you're working on another project. Is that a project you can tell us about?
Absolutely. So, absolutely. So the project I was working on was my coaching program. So when persons join my coaching program, it's blended learning, right? Because adults and children, I suppose, they learn differently. So there is a one-on-one session with me. That's the coaching aspect of it. There is a platform that I use. And so in that platform has videos, templates, PowerPoint presentations. There are 6 modules that people work through to help them. And the program is called Communicate to Influence.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. So that is what I was working on. And so I could not take my focus off that because I needed to complete it.
Yeah, that was an intention. Right
So
there.
you said persons. Are these? I know you cater specifically to women, but is persons? Does that include men as well, or are you still focusing on the women?
The reason I switched to women because what I realized is women were the ones who were. When I was thinking about niching down, women were the ones who were coming to me with guidance, right?
Right.
I am open to coaching men. I am definitely open to doing that. All they have to do is, if persons are interested, then there's a book now button on Facebook, and I think there's one on Instagram. The link in my bio, and it gives you a series of questions that you complete, and then we have a call and we can discuss more what your particular need is as it relates to being a new leader, or maybe you are transitioning, whatever, and we'll see if I am the right fit for you.
Right.
And then we'll move forward from there. But that is what I was working on, my Communicate to Influence program. There's also a link in my bio on Instagram that leads you to a sales page that gives you all the information as well. On that.
What page would that be?
It's a sales page.
No. What's your handle for the pages? Where can people find you?
My website is under construction. It's under construction. That's why. It's lead pages, but I've linked it to Bitly to shorten it.
Right.
So I don't know the Bitly handle off.
But what about the Instagram page and your
if
Facebook
people wanted
page?
to follow you on Instagram?
Also, it's at People's Brand SKN.
Right.
I think
at People's
And then
Brand.
there's Facebook too. Facebook is just
the same thing.
People's Brand.
Yeah, at People's Brand SKN, and they can have find all that information there.
All right, sweet.
Nice.
Sweet.
Well, Auntie Waveney, it was a pleasure having you. You know, I love talking to you.
Yes, it's a pleasure being here.
But guys, unfortunately, we have to go home.
Time flies when you're having fun.
And I have to go to work.
I think this is one of my. I think this is now one of my favorites. One of my favorite interviews we've done. It's very fun. Yeah.
I think
I like learning about things in a conversational, fun, friendly way, and I think we did just that.
Nice.
Yes.
Indeed.
Nice.
Indeed.
Well, Azem.
Well, guys, it's been fun. We're gonna have to call it today. Unfortunately, it's Tuesday, May 4th. Oh, May the 4th be with you. Yes.
Today, Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Well, Cinco is tomorrow.
Oh yes, 5. Yes.
Yeah, today is Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
Really?
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. But guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys here with us on Island Tea. Big up to all of the regulars. Big up to all the people who, for some strange reason, stumbled on the show today. And hopefully you decide to come back with us again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. But guys, it's been really fun. Remember to like us, share, subscribe, comment, interact in any way possible with us on Facebook and YouTube at WINN SKN. WINNMedia SKN. Also, you could check us out on Instagram at Island TSKN.
So many places to find us.
So many places to find
Also,
us.
stay tuned to our website for all of your news articles, to keep abreast with what's happening in the country and the Caribbean and the world. We post all those things daily. It's WINNmediaskn.com.
Yes, sir. And with that,
We'll turn it over to what you calling him today? What new name you want to give him today?
what's that new name? It's what he is. I just call him what he is.
Okay.
Yeah. The chapstick done, the Duke of Frigippe, the Prosecco Papi, aka the one with a million faces, the one and only Kevon Hanley.
Because you can't be everybody's cup of tea. You know why? Let me tell you why. Come let me tell you why.
Tell us.
Because you's not a mug. You's not a mug. See you tomorrow.